Guys, this is unbelievable. 10 full years of India Bike Week. It seems just like yesterday when my friend Martin Da Costa called me and said, mate, I'm doing a bike festival. Can we have a bit of a chat? 10 years down the line, he doesn't need to do a bit of a chat because the tickets are just flying off the shelf. People love India Bike Week. And you have excellent people like Ravi Chawla, MD and Chief Executive Officer at Gulf Oil Lubricants, very interested in what India Bike Week is doing. Martin, great to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, buddy. How you doing, Hrishi?
Excellent. Ravi, for the very first time, such a pleasure to have you. How are you?
Great to be here.
So, Martin, 10 years, man, goes by in the wink of an eye, doesn't it?
Dude, it feels like yesterday that I walked in to see you to talk about my little bike festival in Goa in 2013, no? And it's been a delirious 10 years, bro.
Talk about the growth in the community, which is what the intention was right at the beginning, right? You saw a community that had great scalability. You said this can really flourish into something big here.
Yeah, we always knew that India was going to, and Indians were going to embrace biking for fun rather than just going to work. But when we started, I guess, I don't know, maybe 15, 20,000 people had big bikes, anything over sort of 400-500cc. I reckon it's in the millions now, yeah? I mean, I know when we started, there were probably 15, 20 serious bike clubs. Now it's, well over 500. And we've seen women and women bikers coming on over the last 5 years and owning the space as well. So there are these women bike clubs that we work with, and these fantastic travelers that have done, Delhi to London, across Afghanistan, places like that. So it's and India Bike Week kind of reflects that, because we just we see families, we see young guys, young girls, much older people, kids at the festival. People bring their dogs. It's great. So it's evolved in that way. It's a sort of microcosm of what's been happening in India over the last, I suppose, 10 years.
8th and 9th of December in Vagator in Goa, and tickets are at indiabikeweek.in. There's a lot of stuff that's happening as a build-up to it, which we will approach with Martin. Ravi, tell us about Gulf Syntrac's association with India Bike Week this year, and why India Bike Week?
Well, as Martin was saying, the growth in the avid biker, the kind of super bikes you're seeing, the population has gone up, the passion has gone up. So really for us, when you look at what we do, we have motorcycle oils and the premium synthetic oils which go into, this particular segment. So it made so much sense for us. And the passion and the platform that India Bike Week offers is fantastic. So for us as a brand, it's really to go there and be part of this journey. It's just the beginning for us. And I think it's also with Gulf, we say together we are unstoppable. So really the journey to be together with this platform is something fantastic.
And I think you tested the water by doing the chai pakoda rides over the weekend.
That's right.
And you must have seen, the results, the fruits of that, which is why you decided to dive in deep.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because, as a build-up to this, we're having 20 of them across India. And we are seeing the passion there. The local teams, the local riders are connecting. They're going on the journey together. And the response we've got there is fantastic. So thousands of people have gone on this ride, a few more to go. So really building it up, and of course India Bike Week will be a fantastic event for everybody to culminate all this.
Yeah, I remember the first Giant Pagoda that we did in Mumbai in 2013, and 30 people came. And now we have to cap the number at 1,000, 1,500, depending on the city, and it's oversubscribed 3-4 times. So, and that's just to drive out, just to ride your bike on a Sunday morning and have some Giant Pagodas. It's amazing. And
over the last 10 years, you've actually really been fortunate with the kind of brands you've associated with India Bike Week, haven't you, Martin?
Yeah.
I mean, Gulf Syntrac this year, over the years, you built some strong partnerships which have endured the test of time, and you were celebrating 10 years with you, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, 10 years with Harley-Davidson, 10 years with Jameson, 10 years with a lot of brands. They keep coming back because, I think one is that we do the festival right, and doing a festival right means that the hygiene's great, that people have a great time, that the right people are there, and like for Jameson, for example, they've they've been on this journey with us, so they've seen it grow year by year by year, and obviously Harley-Davidson as well, to the point where Harley along with Triumph have just released new bikes in the sort of 400cc plus category, and literally booking hundreds of thousands of sales on those new bikes, which is a whole new market for both them and us. It's great.
There's a theme for this year, and it's
10X.
called 10X, because it's your 10-time celebration.
Yeah.
And also you're going big on inclusivity and diversity and inclusion, and you say everyone is one, right?
The whole. I mean, because there are other motorbike festivals, but they tend to be done by individual motorbike brands, and I don't know. When we go to them, we kind of see that it's just basically sort of guys, if you know what I mean. Whereas India Bike Week is it's everyone, right? We genuinely don't care what you ride. You can ride a 50cc battered old scooter, or you can ride a 30 lakh Goldwing. I mean, we just don't care what you ride, as long as you're passionate about biking and passionate about throwing a leg over your bike and going out on a weekend or traveling the country. So it's for everyone, really, and that comes across in the sort of people that make the trip. I mean, now it's what I guess. We'll have 20,000 people at the festival, but my guess is that there's about 40,000 people that just travel down to Goa, because it's just become this scene. You have to imagine it. The roads of Goa are just covered in people on bikes. It's quite a spectacular thing.
What are the big highlights from Gulf Syntrack at India Bike Week?
Well, there are many which are going to obviously take shape, and a lot of action is going to happen. Gulf Syntrack's all about performance. So really, to demonstrate that, we're going to have the Gulf Motor Mayhem FMX show. This is a showcase of that. We're going to have 35 clubs, and the club village really gives you a great platform there, where the community can really compete, celebrate, have fun. So I think that's another highlight for us. Obviously, it's about bikes and how they perform. So the dyno is another feature we are having, where riders can test the performance aspects of the motorcycles, the ignition, the fuel, the air supplies. We're also going to offer, of course, Gulf products. People coming in can have their oil servicing and those kind of features. Another great highlight is going to be the Big Trip stage, again presented by Gulf Syntrack. Really, where Gulf has also been associated with endurance. And when you look at this platform of the Big Trip stage, it's really dedicated to all the global overlanders who are going to share their stories of grit and glory. So really, this is going to be another highlight for us. And we're also going to have a thrill action game with another partner called Throttle Mania. So lots going to happen, and I'm sure it's going to be exciting times.
Lovely. Let's do a bit of a then and now. Martin, what are the stark differences that you see in today's motorcycling culture in India versus back in the day?
I mean, we've touched on that inclusivity thing. So it's not just 35-year-old blokes on a bike going out onto the streets on a Sunday morning. It's everyone these days. So that's one thing. And the second thing is that there's this. Do you think it's a post-pandemic thing, Hrishi? This urge to get out the house, this urge to be shoulder to shoulder with other people. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I was thinking of all my friends and events and activations. All you guys seem to be very happy, because you could have a music program, you could have a fashion program, and if it's outdoors, people are just gravitating to it. I mean, there are full houses everywhere.
Full houses everywhere, and so in biking terms, it's we've seen the sort of colossal growth of biking clubs. So people getting together and sharing a passion, sharing an interest, and that's I think it's not necessarily new over the last 10 years, but it's sort of supercharged by the pandemic. And people want that connection, right? People want
what you call leisure biking, isn't it?
Leisure biking. I mean, people want stories to tell and stories to tell themselves. I know I do. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why I take my motorbike out, is just to meet other people, meet other like-minded people.
All right, 10-year celebration. Give us all the highlights. What can people expect? I believe there are 6 racetracks.
Yeah, so that's super exciting. I mean, we based that. There's this amazing festival in France called Wheels and Waves, and it's super cool. I think I talked about it last year. Any of your listeners can hear it, can remember that. But they do racing with these classic bikes. So these sort of priceless 1920s Harley-Davidson, and they race them till they explode through forests, right? So we saw the passion around that, and we thought, okay, we have to replicate something like that in Goa at India Bike Week. And so we've built these 6 racetracks, and it's sort of professionals, semi-professionals, amateurs racing on them. And you can, when you go there, you can actually get to try bikes as well. So there's a load of motorbikes and scooters as well that are being launched, products that are being launched at India Bike Week, and some of them are electric. So you can test ride, I think, up to sort of 10, 15 different types of motorbike, different types of scooter at India Bike Week on these racetracks. So that's going to be super cool. And then last year we came across these amazing guys called the Big Forkers, with an R, Hrishi.
Just clarifying.
Just to clarify to your audience. So they create this thing called Meat Fest, which is this unbelievable sort of massive barbecue setup. You'd love it. I mean, you'd love it.
I know you love it.
I
I've
love
seen
it.
your Instagram feed full of nice meat.
It's fantastic. And then as Ravi said, we've got people who are riding in from everywhere. So we've got a girl that's riding in from Lithuania that's done the world's coldest motorbike ride up in the Arctic. And we've got Simon and Lisa coming from the UK who've spent, I think, 34 years on their bike traveling the world. There's a girl called Yuvena from Singapore who's been riding across Asia on a scooter. And then plus. We've got so many racers and motorbike sort of professionals coming to talk to us. And then, the other big reason why these motorbike festivals globally, so like in America, Sturgis and so on, attract 250,000 people, is the shopping. So there's over 120 brands.
Lovely.
Selling everything, right? And everything to do with travel, to do with, camping, biking, you name it, at the festival. So it's a sort of one-stop shop you can go to. But I think the main thing is just spending 2 days with, tens of thousands of like-minded people. It's that buzz, that energy, and that you can't replace anywhere else.
I'm going to add to some stuff that Martin hasn't covered. There are going to be tattoo artists.
Of course.
There is a custom arena featuring sneaker painters. Sneaker painting is so in. K-pop and anime is yesterday. Sneaker painting is the real thing. So wonderful. Go get your sneakers painted. And there's also a music stage. Nuclear. Gotta love his music. The kind of fusion that he does. Vivian, aka Divine, and his Gully Gang. The Gully Gang are going to be performing there. It's called Gully Gang, etc. That family and their hip-hop movement is just absolutely fantastic. And I imagine a lot of people will unveil, new launches from their brand.
Loads. So I think there is a total of 12 new bike scooter product launches at India Bike. So it's a chance to see a lot of two wheels for the first time.
And what Martin was referring to, as in Carolis from Lithuania, Simon and Lisa from the UK, they will be speaking on the Big Trip stage.
Yeah.
And there are also sessions by global overlanders at that Big Trip stage. So there's the Big Trip stage, there is the Custom Arena, and anything I'm missing out? Any other stage?
There's literally
a music stage.
There's loads of music stages, but there's literally also hundreds of sort of custom bike builder stages where you can see some of the most incredible bikes. And we've actually given 3 of India's best bike builders Harley-Davidson 440 bikes to custom build, and we've made a program out of it. And so we're going to be judging the best of those at India Bike Week. There's just there's just enormous amounts of things happening.
Ravi, how's the motorcycling scene evolved in India over the years? As somebody who's been nurturing the motorcycling scene, you have a bird's eye view of what's happening.
Well, I think it's thriving. And at Gulf, you're really getting a lot of inspiration from this incredible spirit, passion and enthusiasm. We see the community, and as Martin mentioned, it's really evolved. It's a global stage. Actually, we are seeing here in India now. We really feel the pulse and love that all these motorcyclists are living for. So as it evolves, I think this is a great opportunity for us to leverage the India Bike Week and connect with all them. And really, this takes Gulf's involvement with them to a higher level. I think we've been involved in many ways with them. And really, we want to nurture this. We want to get this culture to a different level, unite the drivers. And really, for us, that also we have created an Instagram page called Ride with Gulf to bring this strong community of riders together. And the Syntrack Association, Gulf Syntrack with India Bike Week is really a new beginning for us. And we hope we'll have more events and it'll go forward. And we're looking forward to this becoming a real fertile ground for them to discover fun, make friends, and experience the thrill of riding. So really, for us, it's what Martin was saying. It's a completely different set of things that are happening, and we're really, really happy to be part of this.
Lovely. Describe the well of death and the ring of fire.
See, the ring of fire, you get basically you get on your motorbike and get photographed riding through a ring of fire, like a literal ring of fire. It's great. And the well of death is something which I think some of your listeners may have come across in India. But it's
circus guys.
It's the circus guys. But we're doing it a little bit differently. As we're putting some very, very odd machines around that well of death. Now that'll be great. I'm looking forward to that.
I think the right way to bring the curtain down on this chat would be talking about the Great Migration. And are you riding?
Yeah, I'm riding.
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's presume that there's a bunch of new listeners, people who haven't heard us over the last 10 years, the Great Migration.
So we came up with it about 4 or 5 years ago, and we sort of called it the Great Migration because that's what it started feeling like. Hrishi, it was like, it went from sort of 3,000-4,000 people at India Bike Week to sort of 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, and we suddenly realised that there were another 15,000-20,000 bikers in Goa that had come from all over India. I mean, like literally all over India. And actually from Bhutan and places like that as well. And so we started calling it the Great Migration. And it was the idea that on a Wednesday evening, you say to your wife or your partner or whatever, and you say, listen, I just feel like getting on my bike and going to India Bike Week. And so you just throw your leg over your bike and you go, right? If you're coming from Delhi, you book a couple of hotels on the way and you just go and you just arrive in Goa knowing that it doesn't matter what you ride. Right, we're not just a sort of mono brand festival. We're everyone's welcome. And I did it, I think for the first time 4 or 5 years ago, down that beautiful coast road, that Maharashtrian coast road, from Alibag and Mandwa and then all the way down. Yeah, it's stunning, amazing food, ferries. I mean, it was just so beautiful. And I've done it every year ever since. And when I'm 93 years old, I want to be doing it still.
Your boys will be proud of their old man. But I believe you have a lot of AI-induced stuff this year, man, and that's exciting.
So for anyone riding down, you just log on to our indiabikeweek.in and it'll help you plan your trip. It'll tell you where the medical help, ambulances, all this sort of stuff is, mechanics, anything that'll help you if you break down. It'll connect you with other riders on the road. So it's the brotherhood, the sisterhood of biking that we're trying to do.
Also, once all of you, if you're riding into Goa, once you reach Goa, they have 8 special ride-out experiences that will take you to the untouched side of Goa beyond the beaches. And these are all experiences that are curated by local Goans. Eh?
Yeah, so we started this again. We started this, I think, last year, and it was a huge hit. Because people, you go to Goa and you tend to go to the same places. I mean, I know we do, don't we? We go to the same restaurants, same bars, same beaches. Correct. But there's a ton of Goa that no one's ever, virtually no one knows about. The interiors. There's bars and restaurants in South Goa which are just so extraordinary that unless you really know where they are, you just don't go to them. So that's what these ride-outs are. There were eight expert Goans who live this sort of stuff, and they're great rides.
Art, racing, music, food, adventure, travel. It's got it all. India Bike Week. IndiaBikeWeek.in for tickets. 8th and 9th of December at Vagator in Goa. Take your bike and ride down there.
Or drive down.
Or drive down.
Or fly down and rent a bike.
And rent a bike. Ravi Chawla, MD and Chief Executive Officer, Gulf Oil Lubricants. Thank you for your support. Thank you for driving the gears of not just Gulf Oil Lubricants, but India Bike Week now. So as proud sponsors, thank you for everything that you do.
Yes.
Yeah,
great to be part of it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Hrishi, I just want to add there that this journey that we've been on is, we're so happy to have our partners here with us.
Lovely.
It's amazing.
And Martin Da Costa, founder and Chief Executive Officer at 70. It's always a pleasure, mate.
Always a pleasure, Hrishi.
And have fun.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One world, your station.
Radio 1.